Hey, what's up everyone? Greetings to all my subscribers and everyone who just ventured onto here and found my channel. So I want to go ahead and share a few things that have happened, not only tonight, but just some things in general. There's a lot of activity happening right now outside, and generally does seem to happen around me. I seem to be a beacon that draws these things. Paranormal, supernatural, interdimensionals, any type of things like that. Spiritual, all of that. So, if the dog barks, that's why. So I wanted to go ahead and share a little bit about what happened earlier tonight. I was walking the dog at about 8:45. It was about 9 o'clock, and well, I was getting ready to walk him. And then at about 9:30, I decided I'm going to go on down the road. There's still a little bit of blue in the sky. And then as I'm walking down the holler in the distance, and as I'm heading back, I stop and I watch this. You know what it looks like when you see a star in the distance? A meteor or a star. All the stars in the sky are these tiny little dots, these tiny little white dots. And traffic chooses to be loud as a member jammer right now. Okay, so tiny little white dots, and they go across the sky. Well, stars are these tiny dots, obviously. Well, imagine about the size of those tiny stars and planets, the celestial objects. This object was just the same size as they were, and it wasn't blinking, it was just moving, just like you'd see on these videos of UFOs out in space. And when I saw it, I kept following it with my eyes, and I watched it go over and just continue to fly throughout space. Just flying through space. And it was just moving, and then it moved forward. It was moving straight forward, then it took a diagonal move. It made a horizontal move. And then kept on going in that same path. And it kept going and going and going and going, and suddenly it was heading toward one of the other stars in the sky. And as it got into the distance, it went right into that star. And that's where it went, into that star. So whatever this celestial object was, continued across the sky, darted to the right, and then just continued along its path, not blinking, not making any flashes of light. It was not some sort of spacecraft, in my opinion, it wasn't really even a meteor or a comet. There was no tail. It was just an object. An unidentified object. Flying object. I heard some sticks break just now. Hopefully you could hear it over my yapping. But anyway, it just continued moving. I'll give you a general direction. It was going from the southwestern sky, and then it took a dart even further southwest, and then kept on going to the southeastern sky. And then it just went into that other star and disappeared. It just kept on going until it hit the star, until it just blended with that small star. So that's what happened earlier tonight. Signing out. I want to go ahead and share that story. There was an interesting story as well on the radio on Coast to Coast Daddy was telling about people witnessing and hearing the Civil War spirits again. And I'm sure they are quite stirred up with what's going on. The Civil War spirits. Sorry, I don't feel too well. I feel this weird feeling in my gut. It's like a nauseated, weird, adrenalating feeling in my gut. Like something big is brewing. But anyway, the Civil War spirits, people can hear their cannons, they hear them marching, their music, playing their music, they hear them shooting as if they're in war or in battle. And people have been hearing that all across the United States again. And that reminds me of what we heard years ago, as if a battle were taking place. The vehicles, we heard tanks, or we heard an engine, we heard and saw an old ambulance sound and an old army truck, and we heard war. And at the time, the ghost app that I used to use, which I haven't used in years, said war. War. So, just thought I'd share that. People have been witnessing that across this country. Peace, signing out. Paranormal, supernatural, interdimensional, and spiritual activity. Documentation. Signing out.